48 hours as this winter storm watch goes into effect tonight for all of southern Kentucky. It does include Henry, Benton, and Carroll County and parts of Middle Tennessee. Now, a reminder, weather doesn't stop right at the state line. We're going to continue to see the potential for some sort of icing in parts of Montgomery, Robertson, Sumner County, all maybe even into Meaghan County. You could be dealing with some sort of wintry precip as we head through the next 24 to 48 hours. I'm going to show you these two different models. This is the North American model, the NAM, and this one is printing about a ½ an inch to 6/10 of an inch from Hopkinsville to Clarksville, Portland, and Bowling Green of ice accumulation late Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. The other model, the European that I always like to look at, has it about 2/10 of an inch, and I think that is a good number, anywhere between 2/10 of an inch to a ½ an inch of ice. Nonetheless, any sort of ice in this part of the country going to shut down a lot of things. The roads become impassable. We could see a lot of power outages, especially back up in parts of southern Kentucky, and that fine line of where it's going to be right around freezing to just above it is teetering on that I-40 corridor. So the next 24 hours, the temperature really going to depict what kind of precip will fall. If you're well above freezing, you'll see mostly rain. It's when that temperature dips to near freezing that you'll see that switch over potentially to freezing rain, as whenever that super cooled air touches and super cooled water touches, it'll instantly freeze on contact. But in the short term, we have a pleasant day. In fact, Rivergate looking good at this hour. A nice breeze. Otherwise, a mix of sun and clouds throughout the remainder of the day. We are calling for a few sprinkles, especially back over towards the plateau, and I do think another round of some light rain is possible as we head through the evening commute. Low 50s from Lawrenceburg to Columbia to Shelbyville over into Winchester, all at 50 to 52. 49 downtown, Cookeville 43, Jamestown sitting at 46, and we're still sitting those 30s up in parts of southern Kentucky. Low to mid 50s expected over towards the plateau, mostly cloudy with a few sprinkles possible as we head through this afternoon and early evening. So between 4 and 7 o'clock, I think another nice little batch of showers moves through. Otherwise, it's going to be just fine. 3 o'clock today, mix of sun and clouds. And here's that rain I'm talking about, very light and patchy from Camden back down to Linden and to Lawrenceburg. It's when we get into Wednesday morning, we'll see an increase of showers possible, and we're going to have to already watch early Wednesday morning into parts of southern Kentucky from Trigg, Christian, and Todd counties, the potential to see that switch over into some icing conditions, and that trend will continue. This is 7 o'clock on Wednesday evening. Notice it takes over much of southern Kentucky and really drifts south, and as it does so, it's going to teeter along the Tennessee-Kentucky state line. So those of you in Benton County, those of you in Houston, Montgomery, Henry, Stewart, if you live in the city of Dover or Paris, you're all underneath the potential to see some sort of icing conditions. Now, I will say, if you live in Murfreesboro to Manchester to Winchester, even over to Giles, Pulaski, and even to Waynesboro, you all will be dealing with rain. I do think that the icing potential will be a little bit further into Kentucky, but nonetheless, if you live from Nashville over to places like Lebanon and Cookeville, stretching back over into Lobelville, I think you could see some sort of mix, whether it's the freezing rain and or just rain. So again, this is going to be an ever-changing forecast over the next 12 to 24 hours. You'll need to download the WKRN weather app to stay up to date. But once we get through this, Friday promises to be better.